Welcome to the Nut Hut, the only place you can get Rizzo's ground-up, pound-up fruit drinks, made with mostly berries and twigs. Now I'd love to get you something, maybe a couple somethings. Whatever you like, I can sell it to you at a Wow, what a strange question. I'm much too delighted to be suspicious. I sold lower-level spectrums to workers from RR&DD Labs, Hive Control, and the Conservatory. Jacob's predecessor also splurged briefly on a bottle beyond his pay grade, and Black Hole Birdie bought my most expensive spectrum when he visited. I wish he'd bought more. Oh, if you're looking for your own spectrum, remember that you can always buy from the Nut Hut or the Grand Colonial Bar, so long as you have the bits to back up your tape.
I didn't know Rizzo's made a Gatling gun. Unnecessary.
Seems a mite awesome.
What the? I was going to wash my hands, I swear.
Inspector, not a moment too soon. I've just finished my autopsy report. Ruth Bellamy was killed by plasma damage to the upper vertebrae, the occipital bone, and the cerebellum. If it's any consolation, her death was instantaneous and painless. I've also discovered a poisonous compound in Miss Bellamy's stomach lining ingested during her last meal. Toxic, but not enough to kill her. Spencer Woolrich complained of a stomach ailment around the same time period. I assumed he was being, Spencer. But now I'm not so sure. Oh, most certainly. Well, possibly they were trying to make her extremely uncomfortable, but I suppose killing her would also satisfy that criterion. Conversations with Mr. Woolrich tend to spontaneously transform into monologues. You'll find him on the VIP guest floor. I'd best return to work, Inspector. Autopsies always whet my appetite and all.
The Grand Colonial Front Desk warmly welcomes you, Inspector. It's a pleasure to see you again. How may I be of assistance to you, Inspector? I'd love to, Inspector, but I don't really have the authority. Moreover, the guests were promised exclusivity. If I let you up there, I'll never hear the end of it. That's a good point. If they give me guff, I can just tell them that they're obstructing justice. That has a nice ring to it. Let me just set you up with VIP guest floor access. Done. You can now come and go as you please.
Aha! Always so nice to hear you. And if you see Black Hole Birdie, be sure to get it.
Initiating enter protocol. Now simulating familiar and welcoming demeanor. Burbage 3001 is trained to recognize all board-approved actors. Greetings, fellow star. Your performance in Maverick Johnston Burbage 3001's programming is frequently upgraded to adhere to board-certified standards. The most recent upgrade was performed by Spencer Banter Protocol. Burbage 3001 was designed to disrupt how Burbage 3001. Anything Halcyon Helen can do, this unit can do slightly worse. Now running Shock and Dismay Protocol. What's this? This unit has...
About time you arrived. I see you haven't dressed the way I asked you to, but I suppose that was expecting too much of a non-industry lout. Expect a complaint to management. Now, unless you'd like to waste more of my time, I suggest we begin rehearsing. Ready? You've fallen right into my trap, Captain. Oh, don't bother to fight back. You cannot hope to stop me from installing philosophism as the system's reigning ideology. How does the scenery taste? Good, I trust? Wait a moment. You're not wearing a bellhop's ID, which must mean you're not Owen's understudy. That man can't even be relied upon to find his own replacement. Oh, no, this is curious indeed. Who are you, and how did you get in here? You're here to investigate me? Oh, I assure you, I'm nothing special. Just an old crook with more money than time. That was a quote from The Retiree's Revenge, in which I played an ex-thief turned decrepit old man. But, of course, I'm certain you already recognized it. Now, what shall I sign first? Your weapon? Your wallet? Or perhaps something a little more personal? Undergarment signatures have been popular of late, or so I've heard. I'd be delighted. Oh, damn. My pen's out of ink. I'll just get you a portrait of my face as a souvenir. I'm sure I have the prints around here somewhere. By the by, how did you get in here? The only non-staff individual cleared to enter guest rooms is supposed to be the inspector for Bellamy's murder. Oh, hello. Hi. Terribly sorry, Inspector. I didn't realize it was you. Understand that I am beyond willing to comply with your search for the fiend that did Bellamy in. You know, now that I look at you, you're the perfect reflection of me, back when I starred in The Marauder's Bane. The absolute picture of justice. Ask me anything at all. I might even give you a straight answer. Indeed. The agonizing bowel pain was most undignifying. While I've certainly had no shortage of inadequate hotel meals, this was most explicitly pronounced. I suspect poison. And who would be most likely to poison me but Chef Anwar? Oh, we've clashed almost non-stop about his slop. None that I can think of. I treat all hotel staff. Is that a jibe? Could you imagine the how alarming! Whoever targeted her was certainly Oh, that's very good to know. Perhaps the poisoner simply meant to incapacitate us both. Very well, then. Oh, have you now? Please do go on. I did indeed. With Halcyon Helen parading her fame about, I was left without an acting partner. Burbage is no exception. His acting protocols were nothing short of a joke. So I decided to make some modifications, installing him with some of my old serial quotes as, I think, improved his range. The way he bungled about with that weapon of his hardly befitted a dissident. I'm quite used to being breathlessly. Certainly. But one quick question. How was it that Bellamy met her end? Why, I'm merely worried for my own sake. Perhaps whoever came after her could come after me next. But if you don't want to tell me, I understand. Whatever happened, I hope. I was meditating, of course. That's how I get it. Respectfully, Inspector, it is rather counterproductive to commute. All actors have their methods, and this has been mine ever since I met. She taught me it for my role in The Unemployed Cometh. I had to lie face down on... Needless to say, being able to... Actually, only since I've been at the Colonial. The Unemployed Cometh was shot on sight. I cannot recommend her services enough. If you haven't been to see her, I'll answer whatever you wish. Bellamy has been my co-star throughout the autumn of my career. I should like to think I knew her. Oh, it wasn't. And don't think I have... Resenting Bellamy is one thing, but killing her is another completely. It's... Oh, come now, Inspector, what do you take me for? I'm an old man. I neither have the time nor the willpower to kill people. I suppose that is enough on that grim subject. Oh, but I suppose... Very...
Aha! Aha! Always so nice to hear. To the left.
Yes? Are you here for the double rack of smoked sprat? Oh, don't give me that look. Let me see if I can pencil you in for later. Actually, crime or no crime, I must keep my head on my work. One does not simply become the head chef in all of Erídano. You're the inspector? Here? Why... I mean, of course I did. I would never allow anyone else to touch the meals of so important a guest. Oh my law, this is the end, isn't it? My mom... Okay, I wasn't the one who did it, but I might have been mistaken when I said I was constantly Spencer Woolrich and Bellhop Owens were underfoot in the kitchen as I was preparing Helen's meal. Either one of them could have tampered with the food when I was fetching ingredients. Yes, but not specifically. Owens often procures exotic ingredients from the creatures at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve. Our guests can be rather... particular. Let's not talk about the incident with the Raptidon. It's always hard to say when Owens might be back. If I were you, I'd make a trek... Well, it's a breach of professionalism, of course. Why else would I worry about it? What? Truly? That's an alarming business oversight. Instead of volatile chemicals, the corporate... But I don't believe that was a risk with health. I understand your reluctance, but... Oh! Constable Keene has access to the security footage in her... Mr. Woolrich often finds the hotel's meals... wanting. While I could appreciate someone with a discerning palate for once... I believe that Mr. Woolrich simply enjoys... If you wish to speak with him, Mr. Woolrich, thank you for your understanding.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis of this stovetop reveals an alarming degree of grease buildup, approximating proximity to volatile gases and chemicals. Chances of an explosive combustion upon next use. Searching slug work logs. No work log found. Creating conjecture. Slug has likely not fixed this issue due to a lack of responsibility on the part of their employees. Most corporations have regular cleaning procedures to prevent damage to company property. Slug already
Stop!
performing scan. Gas light appears to have gone out some time ago. Chance of explosive combustion without gas.